This is the Standing on Business podcast. That's the current running name.
SOB.
SOP, if you will. I'm Mark Mausner. And who are you?
Chris Mav.
Chris Mav. Brooklyn, New York born, New York City raised, entrepreneurs, trying to figure out how we get rich and be successful in life. If you are between the ages of 18 to 40, watch this podcast, rate it 5 stars, subscribe. By Josh Wine. Thank you.
Right there. You see? It's right there. It's right there.
You fucking see this shit? Look at this fucking sexy, fucking delicious wine.
All right. But yeah, it's about a podcast about people just going through the motions of how to get rich. And I think Mark is winning this one. What happened?
We got some news.
Got some news?
We got some news, baby. I got a second client for my business, baby. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Let's
Josh Hart,
go.
You're the what's it called? Runs into my heart.
Boom.
Knicks, baby.
I'm the superior player. No.
Anyways, continue. That was dumb.
So,
Continue.
For those who didn't watch episode 1, and why wouldn't you? What the fuck's wrong with you? I run a digital marketing agency in New York City in the medical niche. And for a long time, well, since I started about a year ago or so, a little over a year, I've had one client. And now I got a second one. It was through a referral, which is, by the way, how a lot of young businesses get new business, is oftentimes young businesses don't have the money to do marketing, things like that. So how do they get new clients? Through word of mouth, through referrals.
That's what happens in mine.
Yeah.
In my field of work. And if you didn't watch the first episode, I'm in the painting contracting business. But,
They not like us. They not like us. Da-na-na-na. Sorry, Drake won. Drake won.
I don't know about that.
Drake
I
won.
don't know about that.
Easy
I don't know about
clap.
that.
Drake won so hard, Kendrick tried to kill him. tried to murder him.
Too soon.
Too soon. But yeah, so I got this referral. You mentioned you get referrals as well. That's like a healthy sign. It means you're doing well to the point where people feel like they can put their status or their professional reputation on the line by referring you to someone else. Because think about it, they're putting themselves on the line to do that. And they just agreed to a new contract. So that's 2 clients now. And yeah, I'm very excited. I'm hyped.
So how did it come to fruition?
So I got the referral. I came into the office of this new client and I had done a lot of homework on them, their business, what their marketing needs are.
Smart.
And I presented it to them. I showed them where they're currently at, where they need help, and then finished by, here's my professional recommendation, here's the cost. They digested that. A couple of days later, we had our Zoom call where I gave them, here's the formal contract, PDF, with all the legal stuff in it. Here you go.
Do you write that yourself? Because I have no idea about
So I have a template. I just have a template, which I can send you, and you'll probably have to look over and make some changes. But yeah.
It's usually contractors give me the, let's sign the paperwork. Like you have to get that, what's it called, notarized and stuff? Well, they have to.
I just get it signed, man. I never thought about getting it notarized. I don't know.
You got to get it notarized.
But so usually people give you the contract. Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have a lawyer that looks over that?
Yeah, we have a lawyer.
Okay, nice.
We have a lawyer, yeah.
Nice.
All of that.
Yeah.
Before we get a big contract, if it's pages long, we literally we sit for a week, we give it to them, the lawyer, and he reads it, make sure everything is good.
Yeah. So they agreed to the contract, and both presentations were the first time I was doing something like that. When I went to them in person, first time I was doing a sales pitch like that, and then the second meeting on Zoom where I presented them with the contract, same thing. Really hadn't done that before. And dude, I did really well. I felt really confident in being a professional. They asked me a lot of questions. Well, what about this? What's your experience with this? What have your past clients done in these situations? And I was kind of in a flow state. I just felt confident. The answers were coming to me. And really, and I'm really proud of myself because the only way I think you can get to that point is through years of experience. I'm sure I bet you feel the same way, right? When you first started, people asking you certain questions about painting, contracting, and you don't really know the answer because you haven't done it. But now I'm sure people ask you questions and you're like, oh, well, you know the answer because you've done the work, you have the experience. Has that been your
That's
experience? Like,
been
is that
like
true?
it's got to the point where it's like I remember the first time I went to a house to like do a walkthrough, like they wanted their like whole house painted, and I literally went in and I was thinking to myself, don't know what is going on here right now. I don't know, but like once I start talking to the client, you have to get friendly with the person, and then once you get friendly with the person, yeah, as you said, it comes like a flow state. You have to be confident. If you're confident, like you can, they're gonna listen to you, even though you might be wrong, or even though you might be talking out of your ass per se. But they might be listen. They listen to that.
If you have a service, we have both have service-based businesses, like we perform a service for people. Clients want to be led. They want an expert to put their hand on their shoulder and say, here's the issue, here's how we're going to solve it based on my professional opinion, these are the steps, here's how long it's going to take. Because the client has their own stuff going on. They have their own work, their own business, their own family. They want to outsource all the expertise, outsource that leadership to someone else. And they want to be able to go back to their spouse and say, I talked to Chris, it's done in 3 months, here's the price. Great, let's go out to eat. They don't want to have to deal with that.
Because
you know?
yes, exactly.
They want to outsource that time and energy and expertise. And that may sound obvious to a lot of people, but it's not always obvious. And the point is, and we talked about this last time, and we've talked about this off camera, having the confidence to stick your neck out and be that professional and be that leader. And say, and sometimes the client may say, well, why does it have to take that long? Or are you sure about that? Or can you give me a better amount on the price? And to be a good entrepreneur, and this takes time, is to be able to be like, it takes this long because of this. That's the answer. This is the price for this. This is the price. Sorry, that's the price. As opposed to ways that maybe you and I have leaned in the past where we're like, in the past, when we were much younger, we've gotten better at this as we've gotten older and started businesses. When you're younger, you're not as sure of yourself. You might defer to other people. Well, maybe they're right. Maybe I should make it less.
You cannot
price.
listen to that. You cannot listen.
Exactly.
That overthinking. Like if you're overthinking, I remember a story. I was sitting in a parking lot. I was like, okay, I'm going in to see a walkthrough. I don't know, like he wants. It was a job that I never done before, but I'm not scared to take it. But I don't know what's going on. So I was sitting in the parking lot. And I was overthinking. I was like, damn, what if he like reached through me? But like, you have to see through that, and you have to like fight that inner guy talking to you in your thought, and you got to go straight to it. You got to go straight to the guy, straight to the woman, whoever you're sitting down with. I remember this clear as day. It was like in September. It was a hallway that was like messed up, like paint, the whole walls cracking off, and I was like, I don't know how long it's gonna take. So I told him some bullshit. I told him 4 weeks, and he's like, okay. He's like, why is it 4 weeks? I was like, honestly, look at the situation of your walls. It's gonna take me a week just to like plaster it and go make it good for it to paint. And it literally took us maybe 2 weeks to actually like finish the whole job. And he's like, well, you told me it's gonna take this long, but I was like, well, I told you it's gonna take this long, but I put my mind to it to make it more efficient for my guys and save you time. And it's gonna be like that's how you gotta think.
Yeah, a really good mnemonic or way to think about business is under promise, over deliver. So in that example, say 4 weeks, it's done in 2 weeks. He almost sounded annoyed the way you said it, but was he pleasantly surprised? Was he like, oh, it's done in 2 weeks? Or
yeah, he's like,
you know what I mean?
You told me, well, like when I called him, I was like, yeah, we're done today. He's like, oh, you called me, oh, I thought we were going to be done in 2 more weeks. I have to come by and see it, but I'm out of the country. So I waited for him to come back and look at it, but everything was good. I'm just saying, it's like,
Right.
That's when I was like, I don't know how long it would take. I just gave a ballpark, and I said it with confidence. It's going to take this. It's going to take this many days, this many weeks because of this, and this. And he bought it, and I was like, I left that like meeting confident that he was going to call me. And sure enough, he called me. I did the job in 2 because I figured out a good way to do it, and I had the good guys, Miguel. Shout out to Miguel, man. Shout out to Miguel.
Great employee right there.
And we found a way.
Yeah. They say that confidence comes from competence, and confidence is not the prerequisite for action, it's the reward for it. So a lot of people, if they're afraid to do something, whether that's in life or business, they'll sort of wait until they feel ready. Or they'll watch a bunch of YouTube videos and look in the mirror and say, you're the best, and then try to go do it. I think that can have maybe a marginal impact on your confidence. Really, the only way to make yourself truly confident is to go out and do it. Is to go out and get over that original hump, lean into the fact that I don't really, I'm afraid, I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, and then get reps, reps, reps. And then if you can stay in it and deal with that pain, eventually, not that long, depending on how many reps you get, 6 months, a year and a half, you get to a point where you just have a sturdiness. You just feel confident. You've seen it all, or you've seen a lot. Exactly. And your nervous system, which before was afraid, it's like, I've never seen this. I'm afraid. I need to get out of here. Your nervous system is like, oh, I've actually have encountered this, and we didn't die. Not that, the world didn't end.
That's crazy. I go into
good.
meetings thinking like, holy shit, they're going to be mad at me. They're not going to like the price. And I have to deal with this phone call. And it's overthinking kills you. Yeah. And you have to have the confidence. And that's it. You would have the confidence. It's going to happen. For instance, for you, the first time you ever went to your first client to do a video, did you know anything about...
Bro, oh my God. That's actually a great story.
Do you want to share?
Went with our boy Tony Persad. Shout out. Check out Be Real Media. He does a lot of great CPG stuff. He's done social media for real estate agents. He's a great guy. I had him come sleep over here in this apartment because I was so worried that the shoot wasn't going to go well. He slept over here, came all the way from Long Island. And then together we went out to... for the first shoot. This is January. I remember the exact day, January 11th, 2023.
Did you have jitters? Did you feel very...
I was worried as hell, and it felt great to have someone come with me. But yeah, I was really worried. I was asking, what about this? What about that? And in retrospect, I could tell Tony had already done so many shoots before that he could tell. I could tell in a way he was kind of like, dude, this is not a big deal. But he knew that the only way to comprehend that it's not a big deal is to do it.
Yeah.
He could say, listen, it's really not a big deal. But again, the nervous system is words don't change the nervous system's mind. Only action and experience do.
Jump off this plane in skydiving.
What
is the nervous system going to say?
Right?
Oh,
exactly.
No, it's not a big deal. Yeah. Not a big deal, but it's not. It is a big deal.
That's a great example. Let's say someone wants to do skydiving. You could say to them, well, the percentage chance that anything's going to happen is very low, this and that. And logically that makes sense, but emotions don't listen to logic. They listen to experience, really. So sure enough, we go do the shoot, and bro, not only did it go fine, it went great. We get in there, we had the equipment, we set it up, we did standstill shooting, straight on shooting of the providers in the dermatology practice. And then we recorded a skin cancer surgery where this older gentleman had some stuff, I think, on his cheek, and it was removed, and we recorded it, and it looked great. And, dude, I just such a feeling of relief after. And even, honestly, to this day, I still get a little nervous when I come to do a shoot, but it's much less. And deep down, I can remember, I have the experience to tell me, this is going to go fine. And sure enough, every time it does. Literally every time it's fine. So, just a matter, you just have to be brave enough to do the first couple reps where you're scared shitless. And eventually you get over it.
You have to take the first step. You have to take the first step. I feel like that is the barrier to wealth. Because people are like, oh, should I do this? Should I leave my job and start something new? No, I can't. It's that thought in their head, oh, am I going to make it? What if I fail? I'm not confident enough. It's you got to take the first step. You got to eat some shit. You got to taste it. You got to how can I make it any more, what's it called? Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about your first paint job or first job in general. Did you feel nervous going into it, or what was the experience
Well, my first paint job, it was actually it was a renovation of an apartment up in Harlem, and I go in there. I was with two guys, and I was like, okay, where do we start? There's got to be a system in place. Where do we start? So I was like, okay, I kind of look it up. I kind of all right, let's start with paint. Let's start with demoing first. It's even though it's somebody can come by and be like, you gotta do this, this, and this. If you're by yourself, you gotta figure it out. So I remember to this day we had to like demo, and I demoed the wrong thing. We had to demo like a kitchen, and I demoed like something wrong. Like I took off the flooring where I was not supposed to keep the flooring. The first thing off the bat like that. And I was like, okay, so what? We'll replace the flooring, but that costs money. But at the same time, I thank God for that moment, because from right then and there, I learned to like have a system going. And now that I go into jobs, I'm just like, okay, how much paint do we need? Do my calculations. All right, we start.
Mm-hmm.
We start. And now I'm starting up a new job soon, and like it's 3 lofts. It's a big job, and I'm not before 2 years ago I would have been like, oh my god, pacing back and forth when I'm gonna do it. But now that I go into it, I had another meeting with them today. I literally I was like, okay, am I confident? I'm gonna ask for more money because of like other like change orders, and they say yeah, they put more money on the contract. So yeah,
That's why we drink the luxury wine now, baby. The smooth vicissitudes of Sauvignon Blanc. See, this is not the typical. Actually, this is the typical Sauvignon Blanc that I like. But this is like a blend. It's Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Grigio.
What was last time?
Last time was just Sauvignon Blanc.
And this is what's the difference? Josh will tell us. That's why I'm the Modelo guy.
If I drank this whole bottle, would I vomit? Probably. That's a lot.
Please drink responsibly.
I'm dead, bro. But yeah, so.
But we're going places. Especially you. You're going places. I need you to have a boat, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I need you to have a boat. Or I'll get a boat one day, too.
It's actually funny you mentioned that. Like, I was listening to a podcast of this guy, Tim Ferriss, who's one of my idols. Please let me be on your podcast. I love you. He's an author and entrepreneur, investor, and he's written a lot of books about productivity and starting your own business. And he was talking about how actually a lot of his friends who own boats, it's more of a nuisance. It's more of a liability than an asset. They pay a bunch of money to have it docked there. They're paying people on staff to clean it and this and that. There's laws about owning the boat and getting it checked and this and that. So it's an interesting thing. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I want to get rich and buy this and that. But a lot of things that people want to buy, especially high ticket items, are oftentimes more of a liability than an asset.
Do you know what BOAT stands for?
What?
Bet on another 1,000. Meaning like whatever the cost of the repair is, bet on another 1,000. You know what I'm saying? And you want to see something?
What? Uh-oh.
Zoom in on that. Tell him, Mark, what that is.
New York State Boating Safety Certificate.
I have a license to drive a boat.
Eye color blue.
It's not blue, it's green.
That's actually bad funny because all our friends like tease Bav because he's got like the husky eyes.
But they're green.
Of all the data on here too, it literally just says his date of birth and his eye color. No height, no. There's no number on here. Why do you have this? Can you drive a boat? What's happening?
Me and my girlfriend, we took a class on what's it called? On boats, on like operating boats, because I think starting 2023 it was, everybody in the state had to have like this license. So we just went with her and her family, and I just tagged along, and it was like 8 hours. I feel like I was in the DMV, but it's for boats.
That's crazy.
And yeah, I just got a boating license, but no boat.
Wait, my bad. So did you drive one?
Never operated a boat.
So they gave you a boating license without driving one?
No, it's just it's like the written exam. You go for the permit.
So there's another exam where you're actually driving the boat.
Because you don't really need a license per se to like drive a boat. You have to be like 16, I think. But the problem is that they teach you, what happens when you're stranded. This is why you should carry flares. What side you're seeing? What side you're seeing the boat on? Like this is the starboard. This is the stern. This is everything about the boat. So like you know what to do. Like if you guys are coming, if you're going this way and another boat's coming this way, what the system is? What you have to go left. This guy have to go right. Basically that stuff.
Is it like you play chicken and you go straight toward his boat. And whoever turns off first loses. Some Titanic shit.
They were showing some video from the 80s of like boat accidents like that, and I was like, bro, this is so like.
I'm sorry. How dumb do you have to be to get into a boat accident? Like the ocean is so big.
Yo, I was about to say,
Just
bro.
don't go in each other's space. The Francis Scott Key Bridge thing.
Bro.
I like how like a whole bridge collapsed and like 6 people died. Just we stopped. No one talked about it after like 2 days.
It's just like, okay, and America will fix it. Don't worry.
Yeah, like our collective attention span as a society has never been this bad before.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's
Like I feel like in 20 years ago that would have been a story for like a couple weeks.
like how
now it's 2 days.
Now it's 2
yeah.
days.
What happened? How are we gonna fix it? And now it's just like,
It's because of TikTok.
are you on TikTok?
I am not on TikTok, but TikTok is getting banned, no? So
We'll see.
We'll
see. Real successful entrepreneurs and successful people in life aren't addicted to social media. Okay? You can't spend all day on social media and expect to succeed. All right? I'm built different. I have a VPN downloaded onto my phone and my laptop that blocks social media. So go fuck yourself, Mark Zuckerberg.
how is that? How do you manage that?
They not like us. They not like us.
How do you manage that when you work? Like you don't get distracted at all?
No, I definitely do get distracted. It's a constant battle.
Battle?
I'm addicted to my phone, honestly.
Do you like erase
Oh
apps?
wow! I'm about to show you some crazy shit. Actually, hold up, wait, ladies and gentlemen, this is how built different I am.
This is what entrepreneurs do.
This is what real future millionaires do. This is a case that I bought from Y Sky. Shout out to Y Sky. You put your phone in here, close it, and then you can lock it for up to like 99 hours. And you literally can't
99
up to if you want.
Yo.
And you literally can't get the phone out unless you break this thing.
Really?
And there are holes in it so you can use it, but it's very annoying to use. It's hard to text and call people, so you end up being like, well, whatever, I guess I'll just go do work. And then boom, you become a trillionaire. To be different, you have to do different things.
Or how
Thank
Mark
you.
calls it, enter monk mode.
Monk mode, baby.
Well, how did you coin that phrase, monk mode? And
Oh,
what
I
is
didn't
that?
coin that phrase. I got that from Iman Gadzhi, and he stole it from someone else.
Oh, so it's
Monk mode is basically a protocol or a regimen you do for an extended period of time where you're focusing on very few things in life: work, exercise, sleep, and sprinkle in some healthy family and friends time. But, you're not really going out. You're not doing hedonistic things or dopamine things. You're not drinking. You're not smoking weed. You're not doing any of that. And the point is to make big strides in your career and in your fitness in short periods of time. I did this, and I'll probably tell this story at different podcasts, but I did a monk mode for like 6 months, and it worked. I was able to start my business, but I burnt out. The worst burnout I've ever had. Like, bro, it was
happened?
bad. I literally couldn't work after. I was like depressed. I was in a terrible mood after it lasted like a couple months. This is last summer.
So what would you do like during your monk mode? You would wake up.
Bro, for like 5-6 months straight, from November 2022, when I first even had the idea of this business, to May 2023, when I left my full-time job to go full-time in this business, that's a big milestone for any entrepreneur. I was working 2 remote jobs at the same time, and I started the business. So literally my whole life for 6 months was wake up, work, right? You can't see this, not on camera, but at this desk behind me, wake up, work all day, like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., go to the gym for 2 hours, come back, work a couple more hours, go to sleep. Basically, that's what I did for 6 months. Now, of course, I saw friends, I saw family a bit, but not really, not a lot. I wasn't really going on dates. I wasn't really going out. Didn't have hobbies, and it worked. But then I burnt out after. And you know what the craziest thing is? After all that, a couple months after, I looked back at some of the monk mode videos, and explicitly in the video, Iman Gadzhi is like, by the way, don't do this for more than 3 weeks straight. And I was like, bro, because I think
Disclaimer, bro.
Yeah.
How did you just?
A lot of caffeine, and bro, I hated
your
working
mental
full
state?
time for someone else.
We got to talk about mental. How was your mental state?
During it, it was like, bro, I was going to war. Like, it was insane. Like, every day was just like, I'm on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. I don't care. I will work all the time. There was just so much work to do. The sheer volume of work. I was working for a YouTuber. That was one job. I was also working for a copywriting company full time. That was the other job. Third job was starting the business. And there was just
Where did you find time
the
to do
sheer
everything?
amount of work. It was literally, it required literally 12-hour days. I was working on weekends, by the way. That's another thing. I have some entrepreneurial friends who don't work weekends. And sometimes it'll be a Saturday or a Sunday, people say, "What are you doing?" I say, "I'm working." And they'll be like, "What do you mean you're working? It's a Saturday or Sunday." And I'm like, bro, like, if you want to work a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and you want to live a lifestyle where you have your weekends, fine, like, God bless. But in order to get to a point where you don't have to do that, you will be working less than your employed counterparts. As a self-employed person, you first have to work way more than them so that eventually you will be working way less than them, which of course includes weekends. And I didn't realize this until randomly a couple of years ago. I saw a Gary Vee video where he was talking about how, like, people come up to me all the time. Speaking of Gary Vee, wine, shout out.
Is that his one?
No, like,
Oh, but yeah, no, I know
his
he
first
has
business was wine.com. Gary Vee was like, this is going to be my Gary Vee impression. Here we go. I've never done this. People come up to me all the time and they're like, "I want to be an entrepreneur." And I ask them, well, how often do you work? And they'll be like, "Well, Monday to Friday, like everyone else." And they said, "Well, do you work weekends?" And they give me a face. It's my Gary Vee impression. I need some work. It's okay. 6 out of 10. Anyway, people will say to him, like, "Well, I don't really work weekends." And it'll be like, how do you expect to get ahead if you don't work weekends? Like, you're entitled. Like, yeah, you have to work weekends. And this is a while ago. I was younger. I was like 22, 23. I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Yeah, of course I have to work weekends. So in this monk mode, I was working weekends as well. And it worked. But if you do a monk mode, you have to 3 weeks, a month tops. You can't do that shit for 6 months.
I worked mid-April. I worked like maybe 15 days straight.
That's wild.
Trying to catch up on things or trying to like plan. And yeah, I remember the first like Saturday, I think it was like Sunday, I slept in. And I woke up, I woke up 7:30 on a Sunday. And I was like, what happened? I don't have to be up for anything. But like, because I was like, that was straight through. And then the feeling of that, it's like, okay, work is becoming your life. I feel like what you did was good, but you also need a nice balance with life. Like nice balance with your friends, your hobbies. Like I love playing basketball. I try to incorporate that as much as I can. You love going to the gym,
As you can tell, let's fucking go. I'm literally Arnold
Well, you play
Schwarzenegger.
ball too.
Yeah. And Alex Hormozy, who is big YouTuber now, but before that, serial entrepreneur. I think he's worth over 100 million. He's written multiple books, $100 million leads, $100 million offers. He calls it the Rocky cutscene. And he says that every entrepreneur goes what he calls the Rocky cutscene, which is obviously referring to the cutscene in Rocky where he's training, he's running throughout Philadelphia, he runs up the steps in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Da-na-da-na-na-na. And the business Rocky cutscene is basically what I'm talking about. I don't know exactly if you've had it or maybe you're still in it. It's basically where you're early in your business, you don't really know exactly what you're doing, you don't know if it's going to work out, and it just takes so much time and effort to get to be able to be in the ring with Apollo Creed or to fight Apollo Creed. It takes so much effort, and it's like probably by yourself, or maybe you have one co-founder, and it's lonely and it's draining and it's exhausting, and if you're failing, it can be tough and depressing and can cause burnout. But if you can get through the Rocky cutscene, you get to fight Apollo Creed, you get to beat Apollo Creed. A lot of people don't make it through that. They're not used to it. We're programmed to work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, not the weekends. And they burn out and they don't get through it.
Do you know why that is? Rockefeller. Yeah.
Go on.
Rockefeller. He's the one who created the curriculum they use in the schools. 'Cause
Really?
he wanted
Good factory workers.
he wanted to just have he just wanted breed not breed not breed not breed
Breedable.
he wanted just to like What's the word I'm looking for? What the hell is the word I'm looking for?
Like program?
To program humans to work as like his workers for 9 to 5, because let's face it, not everybody can be an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs like me, entrepreneurs like you, need the people who will work 9 to 5 so you can be the entrepreneur. Because if everybody's making money, then what are you doing?
Right. If everyone's an entrepreneur, then yeah. I think most people aren't cut out for it. I'm not even trying to say I'm like holier than thou, and I am cut out for it. I've only been doing it a year and a half. Could come crashing down in theory.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, knock on wood.
Same thing with me.
But I think a lot of people don't have the organizational skills, don't have the confidence, don't have the risk appetite. That's really a big thing.
It.
To leave your job, to put your own money into it, put your own hours into it.
You're missing a big one. Getting out of your comfort zone.
Getting out of your comfort zone.
That comfort zone, that routine that you build in your head, and you're like, oh, damn, I just work a 9 to 5 and you go home. You know, a successful entrepreneur has what? What do they say? Seven revenue streams? Like, you need to be thinking about how to make money, you know? So get out of your comfort zone and have confidence. This episode is about confidence.
And if you don't have confidence naturally, just drink a whole bottle of Josh and then go do whatever you were going to do. And you'll have liquid courage. Sponsored by Josh Wine Cellars. Drink responsibly. Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Grigio.
Bug it out.
That's actually really fucking good.
How the hell does this get on this? This fell and I feel like I'm just... I'm like Darth Vader.
We're not going to have any audio for this. All right. Let's transition. Last segment. Let's do it. We're doing a Knicks Corner, baby.
Knicks Corner.
Knicks are in the playoffs. Second round. They're up 1-0 against the Indiana Pacers.
We're big Knicks fans. This is not a Stephen A. Smith podcast.
Fake Knicks fan. Actually, I don't mind Stephen A.
This is not Knicks Fan TV podcast. Shout out to them if you want to go see them. We're just talking about the Knicks because we love the Knicks. And that's one of our hobbies, because you have to have hobbies, or else why are you getting rich for?
Exactly. We are getting rich, so eventually we will be courtside next to Spike Lee and Ben Stiller at the Knicks game. Let's go.
Thank you.
So let's talk about this Indiana series real quick. Like,
it's a whole different ball game, though.
it's a different team than Philly. I think a lot of Knicks fans, a lot of people in the media too, were sort of overlooking Indiana.
No, you can't.
And they're a really high-powered offense. They have a lot of good players. Like, Miles Turner's been a good player for a long time. Halliburton, although he's hurt, and he had 6 points in game one, but he's still a great player. And then they traded for Siakam, and they have a lot of good role players. Nemhard can play.
McConnell.
McConnell,
18 points.
So they're a good team. I was a little worried there in game one, but I think we're more experienced than them. They're a young team. We're a little bit of an older team, have a little bit more experience. So we were able to close them out in game one. No Mitchell Robinson the rest of the series. My prediction was Knicks in 6. I'm still going to go there, but
How about Bogey? Is Bogey
be
coming
careful.
back? Sorry.
Nah, dude, Bogey's out.
What happened to him again?
I think left wrist surgery or something.
Just the Knicks.
So,
3 players, like, just come on, man. Why do we have bad luck? Why can't we have a full squad and just meet them? Just
Julius Randle thing sucks. I just realized
I know.
pillows were sitting here for no reason this whole time. Whatever.
Also, the problem is they have depth. They have strength and depth. Like, they have strength in numbers, as you say. Remember those
Warriors.
shirts from the Warriors?
The Warriors.
What was the Cleveland Cavaliers? You remember that? What was their like?
Believe land? I don't know.
No, but you know how every series has a not every series.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Okay. 23 is better than 73.
Wow, I thought I was wearing that shirt for a second.
Greatness is defined in June.
That's crazy.
But anyways, yeah, I'm scared because we literally play 3 people off the bench, and our bench points are like 1 point to like their 30 something.
Like I don't think a team can win games like that. Like now, no Mitchell Robinson, he's out for the whole season.
So Precious Achiuwa.
So it's going to be Precious.
Hartenstein again.
It's going to be Hartenstein playing a bunch of minutes. Deuce McBride, who's been, we're lucky Deuce is even this good. Yeah. We're lucky Deuce can play, period. He's a second-year player. Like, most times, second-year player can't play as well as he's been playing.
Before the trade, was he playing, like, he wasn't playing after Barrett and Quickly and Malachi. What was it called?
Yeah,
Flynn?
Valakai Flynn. Yeah,
Valakai, I
He
remember
scored,
that.
I don't know if you know, he scored 50 points off the bench. When the Knicks, I think, traded him to Toronto. Maybe he got waived or something, or maybe he got traded to. No, he got traded to Detroit in the Bogdanovich deal. He scored 50 points off the bench. Anyway, irrelevant. Although he's my fellow redhead. Shout out. Yeah, Deuce started playing big minutes when we traded away quickly. And he was awesome. He shot like 45% from three. So we're going to have to rely on him off the bench more. Precious Achua. I've been clamoring to put Burks in the game. Burks has not played, I believe, 1 minute this whole playoffs.
No.
The problem is, like, we're already super guard heavy. Brunson. Hart is only 6'4". Who's our other guard? Deuce. DiVincenzo. So who we need is Bogdanovich. We needed a 6'8" wing. Now he's out. So we need the offense of a Burks, but Burks is like 6'4" as well. So how many guards can we play?
We're a small ball. What is this?
So we're a small team. It's a small team. So
It's bad. Okay, hypothetically, we beat the Pacers, then we verse the Celtics because I
probably
think the
would
Celtics-
probably would face the Celtics. I believe they're up 1-0 against the Cavs. That game is happening tonight. But last I checked, I'm pretty sure they won.
But I think they don't have the snake Porzingis.
Yeah, Porzingis is out. I didn't see the update. I don't think he's necessarily out for the whole playoffs, but he's out for some period of time. When he comes back, he might be compromised. But, bro, even without Porzingis, let's say we face them, I don't think we're going to be able to beat them.
Yeah, it's all right. It's been a good run.
Bro, the Knicks get to the conference finals. That's the first time they've been to the conference finals, I think, since 99. It's literally a quarter century, 25 years.
Bro.
So
Please.
I hope so. It's gonna be a tough series against Indiana. I'm not gonna lie. I could see them winning game 2. Like coming out, hitting a bunch of shots. Didn't
Brunson score like 40 points last like 4 games? And do you know why? Because after game 2, when they were up against Philly, I sent them a DM and I was like, "Yo, shake that off, shake that off. We go again Thursday." And
Let's go.
And go again Thursday, and he went off, and he's been going off, even though he didn't read it. I just did that for shits and giggles.
I honestly do that all the time. I DM celebrities funny ass shit. Not hating, but being like, I literally love
Better
you.
than me.
You're better than me.
Better than me.
You're better than me. Brunson is definitely better than me. 4 straight playoff games, 40 points or more. The only other players to do that ever are Bernard King, former Knick, Michael Jordan, now Brunson, and then Jerry West.
Jerry West, wow.
Holds the record 6 straight playoff games, 40 points or more. And then one more stat for you. Brunson, I think, is the 3rd player in NBA history to have 35 points and 5 assists in 3 straight playoff games. Who are the 2 others? Literally the 2 other best players to ever play, basically.
MJ and LeBron?
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
it's MJ, LeBron, and Jalen Brunson.
Maybe Ant.
Maybe Ann Edwards. That dude's a beast.
Bro, that's crazy. We can talk all day. That's crazy.
But that'll do it for Nick's Corner.
Yep.
That'll do it for this episode of the Standing on Business podcast. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Josh, please.
And drink Josh wine and
Next time
Modelo.
we'll have a Modelo here.
Until next time,
Wait.
you got to pour a little bit more. By the way, Drake won, but we're not going to talk about that. Cheers. Let's go.